The King Air banked gently over the Caribbean, Haiti's northern coast sliding beneath like a patchwork of emerald and rust. Alexander leveled the wings at flight level 210, the incubators humming softly behind the cockpit curtain. The service dog, Hope, snored in her crate, paws twitching in dreams of open fields. He adjusted the trim, the crochet angels catching the sunlight in a quiet dance. The logbook lay open on his knee, the last entry still fresh. Kindness is the only legacy that flies farther than any jet. He closed it, the click of the cover soft in the cockpit's hush. Months had passed since the silent promise took flight. Steel Wings Global now operated from a repurposed warehouse in Miami, a fleet of retrofitted turboprops painted with the red airplane and heart logo. Alexander had stepped down as CEO, the title passing to a former Air Force colonel who understood mercy missions better than balance sheets. The board, scattered across Zoom calls, still called him the billionaire who gave away his fortune, their voices a mix of awe and disbelief. He let the label slide like water off a wing. The fortune was gone, funneled into clinics, shelters, and runways in places the world forgot. What remained was lighter, truer. He landed in Port-au-Prince at dusk, the runway lights flickering on like hesitant stars. Local volunteers swarmed the plane, unloading vaccines with the efficiency of people who had done this before. A nurse, her stethoscope glinting, hugged him without ceremony. "You brought the malaria doses. You're a lifesaver, Alex." He shook his head, the gold band warm against his chest. "Just the pilot." She laughed, clapped his shoulder, and directed the crates to a waiting truck. He slept in a mission bunkhouse, the cot narrow but clean, the sound of cicadas loud through the screen window. Dawn brought coffee brewed over a camp stove, the aroma sharp and grounding. He flew north again, a loop through Kingston, then Nassau, then home to Miami. The warehouse office had a desk for him, but he preferred the hangar, the smell of jet fuel and sawdust, the rhythm of pre-flight checklists. The community clinic in Miami's Little Haiti was a low-slung building painted turquoise, its waiting room alive with the chatter of Creole and Spanish. Alexander volunteered 3 days a week, sweeping floors, stocking supply closets, driving the mobile unit to tent cities under overpasses. The work was quiet, unglamorous, perfect. He wore a faded Steel Wings t-shirt and cargo shorts, the gold band his only jewelry. Patients called him Mr. Alex. Children tugged his hand for high fives. No one asked about billions. One October morning, the clinic buzzed with the usual chaos. A toddler with an ear infection, a grandmother needing blood pressure meds, a teenager practicing English with a picture book. Alexander mopped the hallway, the lemon scent of cleaner sharp in the humid air. The mobile unit had returned from a dawn run to Overtown, its driver unloading crates of diapers. He paused to help, stacking boxes in the storage room, sweat darkening his shirt. Maya Carter walked through the clinic doors at 8:17 a.m., clipboard in hand, scrubs the same shade of blue as the building's trim. She had transferred from Nashville 6 months ago, drawn by the clinic's new director, a doctor who shared her vision of care without barriers. Her ponytail was tighter now, her eyes still steady, but the exhaustion had softened into purpose. She froze in the hallway, mop water dripping from Alexander's bucket, the sound loud in the sudden silence. He looked up, the broom handle steady in his grip. Recognition passed between them like a current. No headlines, no cameras, just the hum of fluorescent lights and the distant wail of a child. Maya's mouth opened, closed, opened again. No words came. Alexander smiled, small and soft, the same smile he gave Jamal over popsicle stories. "No press this time," he joked, voice low enough to carry only to her. He resumed sweeping, the bristles whispering across tile, sawdust and crayon shavings gathering in neat piles. Maya found her voice, clipped and careful. "You work here." 3 days a week, he said, not looking up. "Mop's my specialty. Also good at unloading diapers." She glanced at the storage room, the crates neatly stacked, his handwriting on the labels. "Peds, size 3. You drive the mobile unit too?" "When they let me." Got a clean CDL now. He leaned the broom against the wall, wiped his hands on a rag. Heard you're running the pediatric program. Jamal sent a drawing for the van. He pulled a folded paper from his pocket, Jamal's latest masterpiece. A turquoise clinic with a red airplane overhead, stick figure Maya waving from the door. Maya took it, her fingers brushing his, the contact brief but warm. He's in remission 2 years now, she said. Starts kindergarten in the spring. Good kid, Alexander said. Strong like his nurse. A patient called from the waiting room, a grandmother needing translation. Maya hesitated, then nodded toward the exam rooms. I have rounds. We'll talk later. Take your time, he said, picking up the broom. Floor's not going anywhere. She walked away, ponytail swaying, the drawing tucked into her clipboard. Alexander resumed sweeping, the rhythm grounding him. The clinic's director, Dr. Laurent, poked her head out of an office. Alex, we're short a driver for the afternoon run to Liberty City. You in? Always, he said, propping the broom in the closet. The mobile unit was a retrofitted RV, the Steel Wings logo stenciled on the side, Maya's name in smaller letters beneath pediatric lead. He drove through Miami's patchwork of neighborhoods, reggaeton spilling from open windows, laundry flapping on balconies. Children ran alongside for a block, waving at the red airplane. He parked under a banyan tree, set up folding chairs, and helped Dr. Laurent unload the portable exam table. Maya worked triage, her voice calm as she checked temperatures, listened to lungs, prescribed antibiotics from the pharmacy crate. A boy with asthma clutched his inhaler, eyes wide at the airplane logo. Alexander knelt, showed him the crochet angel hanging from the rearview mirror. This keeps us safe, he said. Want to hold it? The boy nodded, fingers tracing the yarn wings. Maya watched from the doorway, her expression unreadable. The run ended at dusk, the RV's tanks refilled with gratitude and crayon drawings. Alexander drove back to the clinic, the city lights flickering on like hesitant stars. Maya sat in the passenger seat, clipboard on her lap, the silence comfortable now. You live here, she asked. Shipping container behind the hangar, he said. Hot plate, bunk bed, ocean breeze. Beats the mansion. She laughed, the sound startled out of her. You're serious. Dead serious. Sold the pickup too. Bikes faster in traffic. He parked behind the clinic, the turquoise walls glowing under security lights. Volunteers locked up, the last patient waving from a bus stop. Maya lingered by the RV, the drawing from Jamal in her hand. You didn't have to come here, she said. Miami's a big city. Clinic needed pilots. I needed this. He gestured to the building, the crates, the faint smell of antiseptic and hope. Your program's the best in the state. Figured I'd learn from the best. She studied him, the thinner frame, the calluses, the eyes that no longer scan for exits. The board still calls you the billionaire. Let them, he said. I'm just the guy who sweeps floors and flies kids to treatment. She nodded, the hurt from the reveal now a scar, faded but present. My mother's walking without the cane now. The foundation sent a ramp for the apartment. Good, he said. She earned it. Silence settled, the kind that didn't need filling. A breeze carried the scent of jasmine from a nearby yard. Maya tucked the drawing into her tote. I have early rounds tomorrow. You driving the mobile unit? Unless you need the mop, he said. She smiled, real this time, the faint forgiveness from the build site now a quiet bridge. See you at 6, Mr. Alex. 6 it is, Nurse Carter. She walked to her Civic, the engine coughing to life. He watched her taillights disappear, then biked to the hangar, the crochet angel swaying in his pocket. The container waited, the bunk bed unmade, the little prince open to a new page. He read by headlamp, the fox's words a quiet mantra. One only understands the things that one tames. Morning came with coffee and checklists. He drove the mobile unit again, Maya in the passenger seat, Jamal's drawing tape to the dash. They set up in a park near the projects, children lining up for checkups, mothers clutching insurance forms that no longer mattered. Alexander carried the exam table, held hands during shots, read the popsicle story to a shy 5-year-old who giggled at his pirate voice. Maya watched from the doorway, her clipboard idle. "You're good with them," she said during a lull. "Learning from you," he said, stacking tongue depressors. "You make it look easy." "It's not," she said. "But it's worth it." The day ended with the RV's tanks empty of supplies but full of gratitude. They drove back in companionable silence, the city lights flickering on. Maya spoke first. "The clinic's hosting a health fair Saturday. Need volunteers for the kids' booth. Face painting balloon animals. You any good at either?" "Terrible at both," he said. "But I can learn." She laughed, the sound bright in the fading light. 6 a.m. setup. "Don't be late." He wasn't. Saturday dawned humid and golden. The clinic's parking lot transformed into a carnival of folding tables and hand-painted banners. Alexander wore a steel wings cap backward, the gold band tucked beneath his shirt. He manned the kids' booth, attempting balloon dogs that looked more like snakes, face painting smudged but enthusiastic. Jamal arrived with his mother, now a clinic volunteer. His grin wide as he hugged Alexander's knees. Maya painted a red airplane on his cheek, her hand steady, her smile soft. The fair ended with a group photo, volunteers and patients crowded together, the turquoise clinic glowing behind them. Alexander stood at the back, Maya beside him, their shoulders almost touching. The camera clicked, the moment frozen in time. Night found him in the container, the logbook open under the headlamp. He added a new entry. Asterisk kindness shared. 1 health fair, 1 balloon snake, 1 smile that bridged a year. Cost. Nothing but time. Reward. A new life. Asterisk he closed the book, the crochet angel warm in his pocket. The sky stretched endless, wide and welcoming. Alexander Steele, Alex Reed, pilot, volunteer, sweeper of floors, flew into it daily, the silent promise now a life. The clinic's lights winked off one by one, Maya's Civic the last to leave. He biked home under stars, the gold band steady against his heart, the real journey no longer beginning but simply being. The bicycle chain clicked softly as Alexander pedaled through Miami's pre-dawn streets, the clinic's health fair photo tucked into his logbook like a talisman. Streetlights cast long shadows across cracked sidewalks, the air thick with the promise of another humid day. He locked the bike to the hangar fence, the container's door creaking open to reveal the bunk bed still unmade, the little prints open to the page about the desert well. Coffee brewed in the dented pot, the aroma sharp and grounding. He sipped it black, watching the sky lighten to the color of possibility, the crochet angels waiting in the King Air for the morning's flight to Key West, a cystic fibrosis teen needing a specialist consult. The warehouse office buzzed with the usual chaos, volunteers sorting donations, pilots reviewing manifests, Elena on a call with a donor in Geneva. She waved him over, tablet glowing with emails. "Board's freaking out," she said without preamble. "Investors from the old Steel Airways filed suit yesterday. Claim you breached fiduciary duty by liquidating assets for the non-profit. They want control of the remaining trusts." Alexander set the coffee down, the ceramic mug warm against his palm. "Let them sue. The sale was clean." "Clean doesn't stop lawyers," Elena said. "They're spinning it as theft. Billionaire plays saint, steals from shareholders, page 6 ran it this morning." He opened the tablet, the headline glaring, "Steele's Charity Empire. Generosity or Grand Theft?" A photo from the health fair, him with a smudged balloon snake, caption playing poor again. Comments piled up, virtue signaling grifter. "Give back our dividends, where's the money, Alex?" He closed the tablet, the pierce now a familiar ache. "They'll lose," he said. "The trusts are ironclad." "Courts in Manhattan next month," Elena said. "You'll need to show up." He nodded, the gold band warm against his chest. "I'll fly commercial." Save the jet for patience. The Key West flight lifted off at 0700, the teen's mother clutching a rosary in the back. Alexander flew left seat, the crochet angel swaying, the logbook open to a new page. He wrote mid-flight. Asterisk kindness challenged. Investors want the sky back. Cost. Unknown. Reward. Still flying. Asterisk the teen slept, oxygen steady, the mother's prayers a quiet hum. Back in Miami by noon. He drove the mobile unit to Little Havana. Maya at triage, her scrubs crisp despite the heat. She glanced up as he parked, the health fare's easy rhythm replaced by a cautious distance. Heard about the lawsuit, she said, checking a toddler's ears. You okay? Been better, he said, unloading the exam table. Been worse. She nodded, focused on the otoscope. Kids don't care about headlines. Thank God for that, he said, and the backlash grew teeth by evening. A cable news panel dissected his life. The disguise, the sale, the clinic. A former board member, Caldwell in a tailored suit, sneered into the camera. He's not a saint. He's a man having a breakdown, spending our money to feel good. The Chiron read, playing saint or playing US. Social media erupted, hashtags trending. Hashtag steal scam, hashtag give it back. A petition demanded he return the sale proceeds. Signatures climbing past 50,000. Alexander biked to the container. The television in the Waffle House still looping the segment. The night cook slid him a plate without asking. Eggs over easy, wheat toast, black coffee. People got too much time, the cook muttered. You fly sick kids. That's enough. Alexander left a 20 under the plate, the quarters in his pocket lighter. Sleep came in fragments, dreams of courtrooms and runways, investors in pilot uniforms grounding his planes. He woke before dawn, brewed coffee, and opened the logbook. The health fair photo stared back. Maya's smile soft, Jamal's airplane cheek glowing. He wrote beneath it. Asterisk public scorn, round 2. Lesson. Kindness draws blood. Asterisk. Morning brought a text from Maya. Asterisk mom's in the ER. Relapse. Don't come, asterisk he stared at the screen, the gold band heavy. He biked to the clinic anyway, the mobile unit idling for the Liberty City run. Maya was already there, eyes red-rimmed, clipboard trembling. I said don't come, she whispered, voice raw. You didn't say don't drive, he said, loading the exam table. I'm just the wheelman. She studied him, pride and desperation warring. We can't afford another round. The foundation covered the last, but this. Horizon lights still active, he said. No strings. She shook her head, ponytail tight. I won't take your charity. It's not mine, he said. It's theirs. The kids who flew, the mothers who prayed. Let them help. She climbed into the passenger seat, the silence thick. The RV rumbled through Miami's arteries, reggaeton spilling from open windows, laundry flapping on balconies. Children waved at the red airplane logo. Maya worked triage in silence, her hands steady despite the storm inside. A boy with a fever clung to her, his mother whispering thanks in Spanish. Alexander carried the portable scale, held hands during shots, read the popsicle story to a shy 5-year-old who giggled at his pirate voice. The run ended at dusk, the RV's tanks empty of supplies but full of gratitude. Maya lingered by the door, the relapse weighing her shoulders. She's stable, she said finally. But the bills. Let me make a call, he said. No headlines. No name. She nodded, the pride cracking but not breaking. For her. Not me. For both of you, he said. He biked to the hangar, the container's door creaking open to reveal the bunk bed, the little prints, the logbook. He opened a new email on the burner laptop, addressed to the Horizon Light trustee. Asterisk Dolores Carter, relapse protocol. Full coverage. Anonymous. Asterisk he hit send, the click soft in the quiet. The gold band caught the headlamp's glow, a quiet reminder. The lawsuit loomed, discovery demands piling up in Elena's inbox. He flew to Manhattan on a red-eye coach seat, the passenger beside him snoring into a neck pillow. The courthouse smelled of polish and tension, the investors' table crowded with lawyers in Armani. Caldwell smirked across the aisle, his tie the same red as the old Steel Airways logo. Alexander wore the Cornell sweatshirt, the gold band hidden beneath. No press, no cameras, just the quiet hum of justice. The judge, a woman with steel-gray hair, reviewed the filings. Mr. Steele, you liquidated assets valued at $1.2 billion. Plaintiffs claim breach of duty. I claimed duty to something bigger, he said, voice steady. The sale was transparent, proceeds public. Every dollar accounted for in clinics, shelters, flights. Caldwell's lawyer stood, voice oily. This is a stunt. A man playing saint to dodge responsibility. Alexander met his eyes. I played billionaire for years. The stunt was thinking money filled the holes. The judge recessed for deliberation, the room emptying into marble corridors. Elena found him by a window, the city sprawling below. They're offering a settlement. $10 million to drop the suit. Tell them zero, he said. The money's gone. The good's done. She smiled, small and proud. Thought you'd say that. The ruling came 3 days later. Case dismissed, no breach found. The investors appealed, but the headline shifted. Court backs Steele's charity empire. The petition stalled, signatures dwindling. Alexander flew south again. The King Air's engines a familiar roar. Maya's mother stabilized. The anonymous fund covering a new trial drug. Maya texted once. Asterisk, she's responding. Thank you. Asterisk, no name, no demand. He replied with a thumbs-up emoji. The crochet angel swaying in the cockpit. Winter settled over Miami. Poinsettias blooming in clinic planters. Alexander swept floors, drove the mobile unit, read to kids in the waiting room. Maya worked beside him, the silence between them now a bridge, not a wall. One evening, after a run to the Everglades, she handed him a new drawing from Jamal. The turquoise clinic, the red airplane, stick figure Alex and Maya holding hands. He says you're family now, she said. He tucked it into the logbook, the pierce now a doorway wide open. Family flies together, he said. The investor's appeal crawled through courts, destined for denial. The clinic expanded, a second mobile unit hitting the road, Maya's name stenciled on both. Alexander biked to the container, the bunk bed made, the little prints closed. He opened the logbook, added a new entry. Asterisk, kindness fought. Investors lost, mother gained. Cost, pride headlines. Reward, a drawing of home. Asterisk. The sky stretched endless, wide and welcoming. Alexander Steele, Alex Reed, pilot, volunteer, sweeper of floors, flew into it daily. The battle within now a quiet victory. The clinic's lights winked off one by one, Maya's Civic the last to leave. He biked home under stars, the gold band steady against his heart, the real journey no longer a fight but a flight. The bicycle's front tire hissed flat just past the clinic's turquoise gate, the chain clicking uselessly as Alexander coasted to a stop. Dawn painted the Miami sky in bruised purples, the air heavy with the threat of rain. He knelt on the cracked sidewalk, patched the tube with a kit from his backpack, the gold band catching the first light. The repair held long enough to pedal the last mile to the warehouse hangar, where the King Air waited for a maintenance delay. No flight today, no mobile unit run. Just the quiet hum of a life stripped to essentials. The investor's appeal had teeth this time. A federal judge in New York froze the remaining trust's pending review, the non-profit's accounts locked tighter than a cockpit door. Elena's emails piled up. Asterisk, lawyers say it could take months. Cash flows critical. Asterisk, the clinic's payroll bounced, the mobile unit's fuel cards declined. Alexander biked to the bank, the teller's face apologetic behind bulletproof glass. Temporary hold, sir. Court order. He nodded, the pierce now a chasm. He sold the bicycle that afternoon, the pawn shop owner counting 20s into his palm. The container behind the hangar went next, the volunteer coordinator's eyes wet as he handed over the key. "You built this place, Alex. Place belongs to the kids now," he said, shouldering the duffel that held the logbook, the little prints, the crochet angels. The gold band stayed on its chain, the only thing unsellable. Night found him in the used sedan he had bought for cash, a '98 Honda with a dented fender and a radio stuck on static. He parked across from the clinic, the turquoise walls glowing under security lights, the red airplane logo a quiet beacon. The back seat became bed, the duffel pillow, the windows cracked for air. Sleep came in fragments, dreams of runways and courtrooms, investors in pilot uniforms grounding his life. Morning brought the clinic's usual chaos. Mothers with fevers, children with coughs, the elderly needing refills. Alexander walked through the doors at 5:47 a.m., the sedan's keys in his pocket, the gold band hidden beneath a faded Steel Wings t-shirt. He swept floors, stocked supply closets, carried the exam table to the mobile unit that now ran on donated gas. Maya was already there, ponytail tight, eyes sharp despite the strain. "Payroll's late," she said, checking a toddler's ears. "Parents are asking questions." "We'll figure it," he said, unloading diapers. "Always do." The days blurred into a montage of hardship, the kind that carved character into bone. He showered in the clinic's staff bathroom, the water lukewarm, the mirror fogged. He ate from the free clinic pantry, peanut butter on crackers, apples bruised but sweet. He drove the mobile unit on fumes, the engine coughing in protest. Patients never noticed. Children tugged his hand for high fives, mothers pressed thank you notes into his palm. Jamal arrived for a checkup, his airplane cheek now a memory, his grin wide as he hugged Alexander's knees. "You're my favorite doctor," he said. "Not a doctor," Alexander corrected, kneeling. "Just the guy who sweeps." Jamal giggled, the sound bright in the dim RV. Nights in the sedan grew colder, the back seat's vinyl sticking to his skin. He parked in different spots. The clinic lot, the Waffle House overflow, the church lot with a broken streetlight. He read The Little Prince by headlamp, the fox's words a quiet mantra. "One only understands the things that one tames," he wrote in the logbook by dashboard light. Asterisk kindness tested. Everything gone. Cost, home accounts influence. Reward still showing up. Asterisk. Rain came in November, a tropical deluge that turned the clinic lot to mud. Alexander slept sitting up, the windows fogged, the gold band warm against his chest. He woke to the sound of tapping on the glass, Maya's face peer through the downpour, an umbrella in one hand, a paper bag in the other. She wore a raincoat over scrubs, her ponytail dripping. He rolled the window down, the rain's roar filling the car. "You're living in this?" she asked, voice sharp with worry. "Temporary," he said, the word tasting like the crackers in his duffel. She opened the door, climbed in, the umbrella folding with a snap. The bag smelled of warm food, rice and beans, plantains, a foil-wrapped empanada. "Eat," she said, handing it over. "You helped me when I didn't ask. Let me do the same." He took the bag, the heat seeping through the paper. Their fingers brushed, the contact lingering. "The lawsuit," he said, "froze everything. Clinic's payroll, the mobile unit, my." He gestured to the sedan, the duffel, the life reduced to a backseat. "I know," she said. "Dr. Lawrence talking to donors. We'll make it." He unwrapped the empanada, the crust flaky, the filling spiced with love. "Your mom. Stable again," she said. "The trial drug's working. She's painting now. Watercolors of the clinic." He smiled, the first real one in days. She always had an eye for hope. They ate in silence, the rain drumming the roof, the clinic's lights a quiet glow across the lot. Maya broke the empanada in half, offered him the larger piece. "You're not alone in this, Alex." "I know," he said, the words heavy with truth. "Just learning how to be." She studied him, the thinner frame, the eyes that no longer scanned for exits. "The kids ask for you." Jamal drew you a new airplane. Red, with a sweeper in the cockpit. He laughed, the sound rusty but real. I'll frame it. She reached into her raincoat, pulled out a key on a red ribbon. Staff apartment over the clinic. 1 bedroom, hot plate, leaky shower. It's yours till the lawsuit's done. He stared at the key, the ribbon bright in the dim light. I can't. You can, she said. You helped me when I didn't ask. Let me do the same. Their eyes met, the hurt from the reveal now a scar, the battle within now a bridge. The rain eased to a drizzle, the clinic's lights flickering on one by one. He took the key, the ribbon soft against his palm. Thank you, Maya Carter. Thank you, Alex, whoever you are today, she said, the faint smile returned. She climbed out, the umbrella blooming again. He watched her walk to her Civic, the raincoat bright in the downpour. The sedan's back seat felt less like a bed and more like a chapter closing. He started the engine, the cough familiar, and drove to the clinic's back lot. The staff apartment waited, a narrow staircase, a door that stuck. Inside, the hot plate gleamed, the shower dripped, the window overlooked the turquoise walls. He hung the crochet angels from the curtain rod, the gold band warm against his chest. Morning brought the clinic's usual chaos, but the apartment's key in his pocket changed everything. He swept floors, drove the mobile unit, read to kids in the waiting room. Maya worked beside him, the silence between them now a heartbeat. One evening, after a run to the Everglades, she handed him a new drawing from Jamal. The turquoise clinic, the red airplane, stick figure Alex and Maya holding hands, a sedan parked outside. He says you're home now, she said. He tucked it into the logbook, the pierce now a doorway wide open. Home flies together, he said. The lawsuit crawled through appeals, the investor's case weakening with every clinic opening, every child flown to treatment. Elena sent updates. Asterisk judge leaning our way. Donors covering payroll. Asterisk Alexander biked to the apartment, the hot plate simmering rice and beans, the little prince opened to a new page. He wrote in the logbook by lamplight. Asterisk kindness shared. 1 key, 1 empanada, 1 heart meeting. Cost. Everything I thought I needed. Reward. A new life. Asterisk. The sky stretched endless, wide and welcoming. Alexander Steele, Alex Reed, pilot, volunteer, sweeper of floors, flew into it daily. The street of struggle now a runway. The clinic's lights winked off one by one. Maya's Civic the last to leave. He locked the apartment door, the key on the red ribbon warm in his hand. The real journey no longer a fight but a flight. The apartment door clicked shut behind Alexander, the key on its red ribbon catching the hallway's dim bulb like a drop of blood. Rain pattered against the single window, the clinic's turquoise walls a quiet sentinel across the lot. He set the logbook on the narrow table, the new Jamal drawing taped inside. Stick figure Alex and Maya holding hands beside the sedan, the red airplane overhead. The hot plate simmered leftover rice and beans, the aroma filling the small space with the comfort of routine. He ate standing, the gold band warm against his chest, the crochet angel swaying from the curtain rod in the draft. Morning brought the clinic's usual rhythm. Mothers with fevers, children with coughs, the elderly needing refills. Alexander swept the hallway, the broom's bristles whispering across tile, sawdust and crayon shavings gathering in neat piles. Maya worked triage in the mobile unit, her ponytail tight, her voice calm as she checked temperatures. The lawsuit's freeze lingered, but donors had stepped in, payroll cleared, the RV's tank full. He drove the afternoon run to Liberty City, the engine purring steady, Jamal's drawing fluttering on the dash. The sedan waited in the clinic lot at dusk, its dented fender a familiar sight. He biked home through streets slick with rain, the apartment's light a warm glow. The hot plate held a pot of soup Maya had left, a note taped to the lid. Asterisk for the sweeper. Asterisk he ate slowly, the broth rich with carrots and thyme, the note tucked into the logbook beside the key. A knock came at 9:47 p.m., sharp and impatient. He opened the door to Victoria Langford, emerald coat dripping on the threshold, diamonds glinting at her ears. Her perfume cut through the soup's warmth, sharp as the headlines she once courted. "Alex," she said, voice smooth as the marble foyer she had left behind. "We need to talk." He stepped aside, the apartment's bareness stark under the bulb. The bunk bed, the hot plate, the logbook open to Jamal's drawing. Victoria's gaze swept the room, her mouth tightening. "This is what you chose. This is what I kept," he said, closing the door. "Coffee." She waved it off, heels clicking on the linoleum. "I'm here with an offer. The investors. They'll drop the appeal, unfreeze the trusts, restore your fortune. All of it. The jets, the loft, the name. Just one condition." He leaned against the table, the gold band hidden beneath his shirt. "Drop the charity. Drop the obsession," she corrected. "People like us don't mix with the poor. We fund them from a distance. You're embarrassing the brand." He laughed, the sound rusty but real. "There is no brand. Just kids who need flights." She pulled a folder from her designer bag. Papers crisp. Sign. Walk away. Be Alexander Steele again. The skies are waiting. He took the folder, flipped through. Settlement terms, asset restoration, a non-disclosure clause thick as a phone book. The numbers danced. Billions restored, influence reclaimed. He set it on the table, the soup's steam curling between them. "People like me shouldn't have existed in the first place," he said, voice steady. "I flew over the world, never in it. This," he gestured to the apartment, the clinic's glow through the window. "This is real." Victoria's eyes narrowed, the emerald coat pooling like spilled wealth. "You're throwing away everything for a mop and a hot plate." "I'm keeping everything that matters," he said. "The kids, the clinic, the people who show up when the cameras don't." She stepped closer, perfume sharp. "You'll regret this. The world forgets saints who scrub floors." "Let it forget," he said. "I'm not a saint. Just a pilot who sweeps." She stared, the folder untouched between them. Rain drummed the window, the clinic's lights flickering in the storm. "You're not the man I knew," she said finally. "No," he said. "I'm the man I should have been." Victoria turned, heels clicking to the door. She paused, hand on the knob. "Last chance, Alex." He opened the logbook, Jamal's drawing bright under the bulb. "Doors open." She left, the emerald coat aflash in the rain, the folder abandoned on the table. He locked the door, the click soft in the quiet. The soup had cooled, but he ate it anyway, the note from Maya warm in his pocket. Morning brought the clinic's usual chaos, the mobile unit idling for the Overtown run. Maya was already there, ponytail damp from the rain, her eyes sharp. "Heard a fancy car in the lot last night," she said, checking a toddler's ears. "Old ghost," he said, unloading the exam table. "Exorcised." She nodded, the silence between them now a heartbeat. "Jamal's drawing a new one. Says the sweeper needs a cape." He laughed, the sound bright in the dim RV. "Tell him capes snag on brooms." The run ended at dusk, the RV's tanks empty of supplies but full of gratitude. Maya lingered by the door, the relapse's shadow lifted. Her mother's watercolors now framed in the clinic lobby. "The offer," she said. "You turned it down." "Wasn't mine to take," he said. "The skies belong to the kids now." She studied him, the thinner frame, the eyes that no longer scanned for exits. "You're sure?" "Never been surer," he said. "The ground's where the work is." They drove back in companionable silence, the city lights flickering on. Maya spoke first. "The clinic's hosting a holiday party. Kids volunteers potluck. You bringing the empanadas?" "I burn water," he said. "But I can sweep the floor." She smiled, real this time, the faint forgiveness from the build site now a quiet bond. "See you at 6, Mr. Alex." "6 it is, Nurse Carter." He biked to the apartment, the hot plate simmering rice and beans, the little prints open to a new page. He wrote in the logbook by lamplight. Asterisk kindness tempted. Fortune offered, ground chosen. Cost, billions old life. Reward, a cape in crayon. Asterisk he closed the book, the crochet angels warm in his pocket. The lawsuit's appeal crawled through courts, the investor's case crumbling with every clinic opening, every child flown to treatment. Elena sent updates. Asterisk judge dismissed. Trusts unfrozen, but you're still broke by choice. Asterisk Alexander biked to the clinic, the hot plate holding Maya's soup, the note tucked into the logbook. The holiday party filled the waiting room with laughter, children's faces painted with red airplanes, Jamal's new drawing taped to the wall, stick figure Alex with a broom cape, Maya beside him holding a stethoscope. Night found him in the apartment, the bunk bed made, the little prints closed. The sky stretched endless, wide and welcoming. Alexander Steele, Alex Reed, pilot, volunteer, sweeper of floors, flew into it daily, the temptation now a quiet victory. The clinic's lights winked off one by one, Maya's Civic the last to leave. He locked the door, the key on the red ribbon warm in his hand, the man who once owned the skies now choosing the ground. The clinic's holiday lights twinkled against the December drizzle, the waiting room still echoing with children's laughter long after the last balloon popped. Alexander locked the apartment door, the key on its red ribbon slipping into his pocket beside the crochet angels. The hot plate held a pot of Maya's black-eyed peas, a note taped to the lid. Asterisk for the sweeper with the cape. Asterisk he ate standing, the peas warm with cumin and care. Jamal's broom cape drawing taped to the wall above the bunk bed. The gold band rested steady against his chest, the logbook open to the temptation's quiet victory. Morning brought the clinic's usual rhythm, mothers with fevers, children with coughs, the elderly needing refills. Alexander swept the hallway, the broom's bristles whispering across tile, sawdust and glitter from the party gathering in neat piles. Maya worked triage in the mobile unit, her ponytail loose from the night shift, her eyes sharp despite the strain. The lawsuit's dismissal had unfrozen the trusts, but he had signed them over to the non-profit, the papers crisp in Elena's office. Broke by choice, rich in purpose. A text came at 6:12 a.m., Maya's name glowing on the burner phone. Asterisk mom's in ICU. Come if you can. Asterisk he biked through streets slick with rain, the clinic's turquoise walls a blur. The hospital loomed white and sterile, the ICU's glass doors cold under his palm. Maya stood in the corridor, scrubs rumpled, eyes red-rimmed. Dolores Carter lay behind the glass, tubes snaking from her arms, monitors beeping a frantic rhythm. The cancer's back, Maya said, voice raw. Aggressive. They say surgery's her only shot, but the trial drug's maxed out. We can't. He took her hand, the contact steady. How much? $250,000, she said, the number await. Insurance won't touch it. The foundation's tapped. She pulled away, pride flaring. We'll figure it. We always do. He nodded, the gold band warm against his chest. Let me make a call. He biked to the hangar, the warehouse office quiet. Elena on a call with a donor in Nairobi. She looked up, saw his face. What's wrong? Dolores Carter, he said. Surgery. $250,000. Non-profits dry. She opened the ledger, the numbers stark. We're stretched. Haiti Clinic, the Delta unit. He opened the logbook, the crochet angels swaying from the desk lamp. The King Air. Last private jet. Sell it. Elena's eyes widened. That's your lifeline. Your home. It's a plane, he said. She's a mother. The sale closed in 48 hours, a cash buyer from Tampa. The King Air's tail number struck from the registry. The check cleared at dawn. The funds wired to the hospital under Horizon Light's name. Alexander signed the papers in the FBO lounge, the pen steady, the gold band hidden beneath his shirt. Elena watched, eyes wet. You're bankrupt now. Truly. Never was rich till now, he said, the words light. The surgery lasted 9 hours, the waiting room a haze of bad coffee and whispered prayers. Maya paced, her ponytail unraveling. her hands twisting the clinic's red ribbon keychain. Alexander sat beside her, the logbook closed on his knee, Jamal's broom cape drawing tucked inside. "You can't fix everything," she said finally, voice breaking. "You're not God." "I can try," he whispered, the words a vow. The surgeon emerged at 3:17 p.m., mask dangling, eyes tired but bright. "We got it all. Clean margins. She's in recovery." Maya collapsed against Alexander, sobs shaking her frame, the corridor's fluorescence harsh on her tears. He held her, the gold band warm between them, the pierce now a miracle. Dolores woke the next day, her voice weak but present, her watercolors waiting on the bedside table. Maya sat vigil, her hand in her mother's, the clinic's mobile unit idling outside for the Delta run. Alexander drove it alone, the RV's tank full of donated gas, the red airplane logo bright in the sun. Children waved from tent cities, mothers pressed thank you notes into his palm. He read the popsicle story to a shy 5-year-old who giggled at his pirate voice, Jamal's drawing fluttering on the dash. The free medical wing reopened the following week, the King Air's sale funding a pediatric oncology unit, Maya's name stenciled on the door in bold blue. She cut the ribbon with safety scissors, Dolores in a wheelchair beside her, cheeks fuller, eyes bright. Alexander stood at the back, the gold band hidden, the logbook heavy with new entries. Asterisk kindness sold. 1 jet, 1 life. Cost, everything I owned. Reward, a mother's smile, asterisk. Bankruptcy came quietly. The final papers filed in a courthouse basement, the judge's gavel soft. The apartment's key returned to Dr. Laurent, the hot plate unplugged, the bunk bed folded for the next volunteer. He kept the duffel, the logbook, the little prints, the crochet angels. The sedan sold for parts, the bicycle repawned. He walked the clinic lot at dusk, the turquoise walls glowing, the red airplane logo a quiet beacon. Maya found him there, the ribbon cuttings confetti still in her hair. "You sold the plane," she said, voice soft. "For her. For you both," he said. "The kids needed the wing." She studied him, the thinner frame, the eyes that no longer scanned for exits. "You're leaving." "Time to," he said. "The clinic's yours now. The skies are big." She handed him a new crochet angel, wings the color of sunrise. "For the next flight." He took it, the yarn soft against his palm. "Thank you, Maya Carter." "Thank you, Alex, whoever you're today," she said, the faint smile returned. He shouldered the duffel, the gold band warm against his chest. The clinic's lights winked off one by one, Maya's Civic the last to leave. He walked into the night, the streets slick with rain, the logbook heavy with miracles and loss. The little prince's words echoed. What makes the desert beautiful is that somewhere it hides a well. He had found the well, drunk deep, and left it fuller. He disappeared again, no headlines, no cameras, just the quiet hum of a life stripped to essentials. He flew mercy missions under different tail numbers, slept in crew lounges, ate diner eggs. The clinic thrived, the oncology wing saving lives, Dolores's watercolors framed in the lobby. Maya sent updates through Elena. Asterisk Jamal's in school. Mom's painting again. The wing's full, asterisk he replied with a thumbs up emoji. The crochet angel swaying in a new cockpit. 1 year later he landed in Miami for fuel, the FBO smelling of coffee and jet exhaust. He walked the terminal out of habit, the duffel light, the gold band steady. Maya stood by the gate agent's podium, scrubs crisp, her mother beside her in a wheelchair, a new watercolor in her lap. The turquoise clinic, the red airplane, stick figure Alex and Maya holding hands. "You kept flying," Maya said. "Still learning," he said. She handed him the painting, the colors bright. "For the next cockpit." He took it, the pierce now a doorway wide open. "See you in the sky, Nurse Carter. See you on the ground, Pilot Alex." He walked to the ramp, the new plane waiting, engines cold but ready. The sky stretched endless, wide and welcoming. Alexander Steele, Alex Reed, pilot, volunteer, sweeper of floors, Flew into it daily, the miracle and the loss now a quiet legacy. The clinic's lights glowed behind him, Maya's Civic pulling away, the real journey no longer a fight but a flight. The warehouse door creaked shut behind Alexander, the key on its red ribbon slipping into his pocket as the Haitian night settled thick and star-drenched. The children's snores drifted from the mats inside, a gentle rhythm under the cicada's song. He walked the gravel path to the Cessna parked on the makeshift strip, its wings dusted with moonlight, the crochet angel with turquoise wings swaying from the yoke. The logbook lay on the pilot's seat, the last entry still fresh. Asterisk kindness found. One search, one classroom, one peace kept. Cost. A country left, a country gained. Reward. A song in Creole. Asterisk he closed it, the clicks soft in the quiet, the gold band warm against his chest. Morning brought the warehouse's usual chaos. Children scrambling for breakfast mangoes, volunteers brewing coffee over a camp stove, the cardboard maps glowing in the dawn light. Alexander taught geometry with sticks and string, the little girl with braids tracing angles in the dirt. A mototaxi rattled up at 8:47 a.m., the driver waving a printed email. "For Monsieur Alex," he said, handing over the paper. Alexander unfolded it, the humanitarian award logo bold at the top. Asterisk Global Compassion Prize, Geneva, Switzerland. Nominee. Alexander Steele. Asterisk. He read the citation aloud to the children, his Creole halting but earnest. For liquidating a billion-dollar empire to fund medical flights and education in underserved communities. The kids clapped, the girl with braids asking if he'd get a trophy. "Trophies collect dust," he said, folding the paper. "We collect hope." The nomination spread like wildfire. Relief blogs posted the warehouse photo, headlines in French and English. Billionaire turned teacher nominated for top honor. Elena forwarded clips from Miami. The clinic's lobby television looping the news, Jamal pointing at the screen. "That's Pilot Alex." Maya's updates came clipped. Asterisk kids are proud. Mom's painting a trophy with wings. Asterisk he replied with a photo of the children's new blackboard, the red airplane bright. The award committee called on a satellite phone, the connection crackling over the Caribbean. "Mr. Steele, the ceremony is in 6 weeks. We'll fly you first class." "I'll fly myself," he said. "But only if Maya Carter comes. She's the heart of this." Silence stretched, then agreement. "We'll arrange it." He biked to the market that afternoon, the Cessna's fuel fund light, the children's lunch money in his pocket. He bought rice, beans, a new box of chalk. The vendor, an old woman with a toothless grin, refused payment. "You teach my grandson. This is yours." He accepted, the gold band warm against his chest. Maya's email came at dusk, the warehouse lantern flickering. Asterisk they called the clinic. "Geneva." "Really?" Asterisk he replied from the laptop charged by solar. Asterisk your vision my wings. Come see. Asterisk she hesitated 3 days. The clinic's schedule packed, Dolores's art classes thriving, Jamal's school reports glowing. Finally. Asterisk Jamal wants to see snow. I'll bring Mom's watercolor. Flight booked. Asterisk. The Cessna carried him north, a loop through Santo Domingo, then Nassau, then Miami for fuel. He landed at Opelika at twilight, the clinic's turquoise walls glowing under security lights. Maya waited on the ramp, scrubs traded for jeans, her ponytail loose, Jamal bouncing beside her with a backpack stuffed with drawings. Dolores sat in a wheelchair pushed by Dr. Laurent, a new watercolor in her lap. The warehouse, the clinic, stick figure Alex and Maya linked by a red ribbon. You're really doing this, Maya said, eyes soft. We're doing this, he corrected, kneeling to Jamal's height. Ready for snow, Captain. The boy saluted, the pirate voice already requested. They flew commercial to Geneva, the non-profit covering coach seats, Jamal's eyes wide at the Alps through the window. The ceremony venue was a grand hall, chandeliers glittering, dignitaries in suits and gowns. Alexander wore a borrowed blazer, the gold band hidden beneath, the crochet angels in his pocket. Maya wore a simple blue dress, the clinic's red ribbon pinned to her clutch. Jamal held Dolores's hand, his backpack heavy with drawings. The master of ceremonies announced the nominees, the screen flashing Alexander's warehouse classroom, the children's faces bright. Applause rippled, cameras clicking. He walked the stage with Maya, her hand steady in his, Jamal waving from the front row. The trophy waited, crystal wings catching the light. Alexander leaned into the microphone, voice quiet but steady. "This isn't mine to accept alone." He gestured to Maya. Maya Carter built the clinic that flies hope. Her mother, Dolores, paints it. The children in Haiti, Miami, everywhere, they live it. He set the trophy down untouched. "Instead, I announce the Carter Steele Foundation for Hope. Equal partners, equal hearts. Medical flights, classrooms, art programs. No headlines, just help." The hall erupted, flashes blinding. Maya's eyes shimmered, the hesitation gone, humility's truth in his words. Jamal cheered, Dolores's smile wide. The foundation's charter was signed that night in a hotel conference room. The trophy left on the stage, the red ribbon keychain now a symbol. They flew south the next day, the Cessna's engines a familiar roar, Jamal in the co-pilot seat, his drawings taped to the dash. Maya sat behind, the foundation's papers in her lap, Dolores napping beside her. Alexander trimmed for level flight, the crochet angels swaying in unison. The logbook gained a new entry. Asterisk kindness honored. One award refused, one partnership born. Cost, a trophy, a name. Reward, a foundation with two hearts. Asterisk. The warehouse welcomed them with mangoes and laughter, the children crowding the Cessna, Jamal the instant hero. Maya taught a health class, Dolores led watercolor lessons, the red ribbon keychain hanging from the blackboard. Alexander flew Mercy missions, the foundation's first grant funding a new mobile clinic in the Delta. The clinic in Miami expanded, the oncology wing glowing with Jamal's art. 1 year later, the foundation broke ground on a joint campus. Clinic, school, airstrip. Maya cut the ribbon with Jamal, Dolores's watercolor the centerpiece. Alexander stood at the back, the gold band hidden, the logbook heavy with new entries. The sky stretched endless, wide and welcoming. Alexander Steele, Alex Reed, pilot, volunteer, teacher of dreams, flew into it daily, the turning point now a quiet legacy. The warehouse lights winked off one by one, Maya's laughter the last to fade. He locked the door, the key on a red ribbon warm in his hand. 206, the real journey no longer a fight but a flight. Lifted off from Miami's Opa-locka Executive Airport just as the sun crested the horizon, painting the Everglades in molten gold. Alexander trimmed for level flight at 3,000 feet, the crochet angel with sunrise wings swaying from the yoke beside the watercolor Maya had given him. The turquoise clinic, the red airplane, stick figure hands linked. The logbook lay open on the co-pilot seat, the last entry still fresh. Asterisk kindness given. One mother's life, one wing opened. Cost, the last jet, the last home. Reward, a flight that carries hope. Asterisk he closed it, the clicks soft in the cockpit's hush, the gold band warm against his chest. Weeks had passed since the miracle and the loss. The oncology wing thrived, Dolores's watercolors brightening the lobby, Jamal's school reports glowing with pride. Maya sent updates through Elena. Asterisk wings at capacity. Mom's teaching art classes. Kids ask for the pilot with the voices. Asterisk he replied with photos of new runways, children waving from dusty fields in Belize, Honduras, the Dominican Republic. No return address, no fixed base. He flew under volunteer rotations, slept in mission bunks, ate rice and beans with locals who called him Hermano Alex. Rumors swirled in Miami's clinic corridors. Alexander Steele had left the country, vanished into South America, joined a monastery in the Andes. Maya heard them during night shifts, the words echoing off turquoise walls. She brushed them off at first, focused on patients, on her mother's steady recovery, on the mobile unit's endless runs. But the watercolor on her desk, The empty space where his broom once leaned, gnawed at her. She started searching in quiet moments. Burner emails to Elena, calls to FBOs in Key West, Nassau, San Juan. No trace. One January evening, after a Delta run that ended in a child's grateful hug, she opened her laptop in the clinic's staff room. A grainy photo from a relief blog. A warehouse in Port-au-Prince, children crowded around a man in a faded steel wings cap, maps drawn on cardboard boxes. The man's profile, thinner, sunburned, the gold band glinting on its chain. She zoomed in, heart thudding. Alex. She booked the flight the next morning, commercial to Santo Domingo, then a puddle jumper to Port-au-Prince. The clinic covered the ticket, Dr. Lawrence's eyes soft. Bring him home if he wants, she said. Maya packed light. Scrubs, the watercolor, a new crochet angel in her tote. The plane bucked through turbulence, the Caribbean glittering below like scattered emeralds. She landed at Toussaint Louverture, the air thick with diesel and hope. Port-au-Prince sprawled in organized chaos. Tap-taps honking, markets spilling color, children darting between stalls. She hired a moto-taxi, the driver navigating potholes with the ease of memory. The warehouse stood on the city's edge, a concrete shell pocked by the 2010 quake, its roof patched with blue tarps. Children's laughter spilled from the open doors, the sound bright in the dusty afternoon. She paid the driver, walked the gravel path, the tote heavy with purpose. Inside, the warehouse hummed with life. Desks fashioned from crates, a blackboard painted on plywood, maps taped to walls, cardboard continents, hand-drawn rivers in marker. 30 children sat cross-legged on mats, eyes wide as Alexander pointed to a makeshift globe. This is where the clinic flies, he said in Creole. His voice steady, the gold band catching the light. Miami to here, hope in both directions. He wore cargo shorts and a t-shirt with a hole at the hem. His hair longer, tied back with a strip of cloth. A little girl with braids handed him a piece of chalk, her grin missing 2 teeth. He drew a red airplane on the board, the children chanting its path. Maya stood in the doorway, the watercolor warm in her tote, the clinic's red ribbon keychain in her pocket. He noticed her then, chalk dust on his fingers, recognition softening his eyes. The children followed his gaze, curiosity rippling. Class dismissed, he said, clapping dust from his hands. The kids scattered to a corner where a volunteer served mango slices, their chatter a bright counterpoint. Maya stepped inside, the concrete cool under her sneakers. You really left the country, she said, voice soft. Found a bigger classroom, he said, gesturing to the maps. These kids lost schools in the last storm. We teach reading, math, how to dream past the tarps. She studied the warehouse. Shelves of donated books, a solar panel charging a laptop, a crate labeled steel wings supplies. Rumors said the Andes. He laughed, the sound rusty but real. Haiti's close enough. She pulled the watercolor from her tote, the clinic's turquoise walls glowing in the dim light. Jamal's latest. Says the pilot needs a new cockpit. He took it, fingers tracing the stick figures. He's growing fast. Starts first grade in the fall, she said. Mom's teaching art at the clinic now. Her watercolors sell at the gift shop. He nodded, the gold band warm against his chest. Good. She earned it. Silence settled, the children's laughter a distant hum. Maya walked the room, touching the cardboard maps, the chalk-dusted desks. You gave it all away, she said finally. The jet, the apartment, the name. Not all, he smiled, small and soft. I kept what matters. Peace. She studied him, the thinner frame, the eyes that no longer scanned for exits. The clinic misses you. The mobile unit's short a driver. Jamal asks for the pirate voice. He leaned against a crate, the red airplane on the board bright behind him. I fly when they need me. Belize last week, Honduras next. The warehouse keeps me grounded. She pulled the new crochet angel from her tote, wings the color of clinic turquoise. For the next classroom. He took it, the yarn soft against his palm. Thank you, Maya Carter. Thank you, Alex, whoever you are today, she said. The faint smile returned. A child tugged his sleeve, a boy with a gap-toothed grin holding a broken toy plane. Alexander knelt, fixed the wing with a strip of tape, the boy's eyes wide. Maya watched, the watercolor warm in her hand. You could come back, she said. The clinic's yours too. He stood, the boy darting away. This is home now. The kids, the maps, the hope. She nodded, the search's weightlifting. Then I'll visit. Bring Jamal's drawings. Mom's watercolors. Bring yourself, he said. The sky's big, but the ground's where the work is. Evening cooled the warehouse, volunteers gathering for dinner. Rice and beans, mango slices, laughter shared on mats. Maya ate with the children, her scrubs traded for a borrowed t-shirt, her ponytail loose. Alexander taught a song in Creole, his voice blending with theirs, the gold band catching the lantern light. She joined in, the melody simple, the harmony full. Night fell star-thick, the warehouse quiet. Maya walked the gravel path to the mototaxi, the watercolor tucked into her tote, the crochet angel swaying in Alexander's pocket. He stood in the doorway, the children asleep on mats, the cardboard maps glowing under a lantern. Safe flight, Nurse Carter, he called. Safe teaching, Pilot Alex, she replied. The plane carried her north, the Caribbean glittering below like scattered emeralds. She landed in Miami at dawn, the clinic's turquoise walls a quiet beacon. She hung the warehouse photo in the lobby, Alexander surrounded by children, the red airplane bright on the board. Jamal added a new drawing beneath it. The warehouse, the clinic, stick figure Alex and Maya linked by a red ribbon. Alexander stayed in Port-au-Prince, the warehouse growing daily. New desks, new maps, new dreams. He flew mercy missions on weekends, the Cessna's engines a familiar roar, the crochet angel swaying in the cockpit. The clinic sent supplies, Maya's updates bright in his inbox. Asterisk Jamal's reading. Mom's exhibit sold out. Kids ask for the pirate voice. Asterisk he replied with photos of new runways, children waving from dusty fields. 1 year later, Maya returned to Haiti, Jamal beside her. His school backpack stuffed with drawings. The warehouse had a new wing, solar panels gleaming, the red airplane logo stenciled on the door. Alexander met them at the gate, thinner, sunburned, the gold band steady. Welcome to class, he said, kneeling to Jamal's height. The boy hugged him, the pirate voice already requested. Maya smiled, the search complete, the peace shared. He opened the logbook under the lantern, added a new entry. Asterisk kindness found. 1 search, 1 classroom, 1 piece kept. Cost. A country left, a country gained. Reward. A song in Creole. Asterisk he closed the book, the crochet angel warm in his pocket. The sky stretched endless, wide and welcoming. Alexander Steele, Alex Reed, pilot, volunteer, teacher of dreams, flew into it daily, the search now a quiet home. The warehouse lights winked off one by one, Maya's laughter the last to fade. He locked the door, the key on a red ribbon warm in his hand, the real journey no longer a fight but a flight. The warehouse door locked with a soft click, the key on its red ribbon slipping into Alexander's pocket as the Haitian evening wrapped the campus in velvet dusk. The new joint facility, clinic, school, airstrip, hummed quietly behind him, solar lights flickering on along the paths, children's laughter fading into the cicada's song. He walked the gravel to the Cessna, its wings silver in the moonlight, the crochet angel swaying from the yoke beside Jamal's latest drawing, the Foundation's campus, stick figure Alex and Maya linked by a red ribbon airplane. The logbook lay on the pilot's seat, the last entry still fresh. Asterisk kindness honored. 1 award refused, 1 partnership born. Cost. A trophy, a name. Reward. A foundation with 2 hearts. Asterisk he closed it, the clicks soft in the quiet, the gold band warm against his chest. Morning brought the campus's usual rhythm. Children scrambling for breakfast papayas, volunteers brewing coffee over a camp stove, the cardboard maps now laminated on the classroom walls. Alexander taught flight basics with a model plane carved from balsa, the little girl with braids tracing wind currents in the air. Maya led a health workshop in the clinic wing, her ponytail tight, her voice calm as she demonstrated hand-washing with a bucket and soap. Dolores painted with the elders under a mango tree, her watercolors bright with the campus's turquoise and red. A text came at 7:12 a.m., Maya's name glowing on the satellite phone. Asterisk park by the old baobab after lunch. Need to talk, asterisk, he replied with a thumbs-up emoji, the gold band warm against his chest. The day unfolded in steady motion. A mercy flight to Cap Haitian with vaccines, a geometry lesson with sticks and string, a popsicle story for the kindergartners who giggled at his pirate voice. The Cessna landed smooth at noon, the clinic's mobile unit idling for a village run. The park waited beyond the campus fence, a quiet grove of baobab and acacia, the old tree's trunk wide as a cockpit. Alexander biked there after lunch, the duffel light on his shoulder, the logbook tucked inside. Maya sat on a weathered bench, scrubs traded for a sundress the color of clinic turquoise, her ponytail loose in the breeze. Jamal played nearby with a kite made from clinic flyers, the red airplane logo bright against the sky. Dolores napped in the clinic, her latest watercolor drying on the easel. The park, the baobab, stick figure Alex and Maya on the bench. He sat beside her, the bench creaking under their weight, the gold band hidden beneath his shirt. "You wanted to talk," he said, voice low. She nodded, the breeze carrying the scent of mango blossoms. "The foundation's growing. Geneva wants us in New York next month. Donors, grants, the works." He traced the bench's grain, the wood warm from the sun. "You'll shine. The kids, the clinic, your vision." She studied him, the thinner frame, the eyes that no longer scanned for exits. "You'll be there too. Co-founder." The pirate voice sells. He laughed, the sound rusty but real. "I'm better with brooms and balsa planes." Silence settled, the kind that didn't need filling. Jamal's kite soared, the red airplane dipping and rising. Maya spoke first, her voice soft. "You gave it all away. The jets, the name, the skies you owned. For this. For them," he said, gesturing to the campus, the children's laughter drifting over. "For you." She turned, eyes steady. The disguise. The reveal. The headlines. "I thought it was a game." "It was," he said, the words heavy. "I thought pretending to be poor would teach me about love. But it only taught me about myself. The emptiness, the shrapnel, the man who flew over the world but never landed in it." He met her gaze, the gold band warm against his chest. You taught me about love. The sandwich, the blanket, the $10. The clinic, the kids, the way you show up when the cameras don't. You didn't need a billionaire. You needed real." Maya's eyes shimmered, the hurt from the reveal now a scar, the partnership now a bridge. "You don't need to pretend to be poor," she said, voice steady. "You just need to be real." Their hands found each other, fingers intertwining, the contact simple and profound. The baobab's shadow stretched long, the breeze carrying the scent of earth and hope. Jamal's kite danced higher, the red airplane a bright speck against the sky. Dolores's watercolor dried in the clinic, the stick figures on the bench now alive. Alexander squeezed her hand, the gold band warm between them. "The foundation's yours as much as mine. The skies, the ground, the hope." She smiled, real this time, the faint forgiveness from the build site now a quiet bond. "We'll fly it together." Pirate voice optional. He laughed, the sound bright in the grove. "Deal." They sat in peaceful silence, the campus humming behind them, the children's laughter a distant melody. Jamal ran over, kite string tangled, his grin wide. "Mom." "Pilot Alex. Look." He held up the kite, the red airplane intact. Alexander knelt, fixed the string with a strip of tape, the boy's eyes wide. Maya watched, her hand still in his, the watercolor warm in her tote. Evening cooled the park, volunteers gathering for dinner. Rice and beans, papaya slices, laughter shared on mats. Maya ate with the children, her sundress bright, her ponytail loose. Alexander taught a song in Creole, his voice blending with theirs, the gold band catching the lantern light. Jamal joined in, the pirate voice requested. Dolores woke for dinner, her watercolor the centerpiece, the stick figures now family. Night fell star-thick, the campus quiet. Maya walked the gravel path to the clinic, Jamal asleep on her shoulder, the kite tucked under his arm. Alexander biked to the warehouse, the logbook heavy with new entries. He opened it under the lantern, added a new line. Asterisk kindness confessed. One heart opened, one love learned. Cost. A disguise, a fortune. Reward. A hand to hold. Asterisk. He closed the book, the crochet angels warm in his pocket. The camera of the world panned upward, soft music swelling, strings and piano, the melody of hope. The baobab's branches framed the sky, the red airplane kite a distant speck, the campus lights twinkling like grounded stars. Alexander and Maya's hands remained linked, the gold band and the red ribbon keychain a quiet vow. The peaceful silence stretched, wide and welcoming, the real journey no longer a fight but a flight. The foundation grew daily. New clinics, new classrooms, new runways. Maya led the health programs, Alexander the flights, Jamal the unofficial mascot. Dolores's watercolors sold at exhibitions, the proceeds funding scholarships. The warehouse became a campus hub, the red airplane logo stenciled on every door. 1 year later they stood in the park again, the baobab's shadow long, Jamal's kite soaring higher. Maya wore the clinic's red ribbon as a bracelet, Alexander the gold band on its chain. The logbook gained a final entry. Asterisk love real. No pretense, no fortune. Just us. Asterisk he closed it, the click soft in the quiet. The sky stretched endless, wide and welcoming. Alexander Steele, Alex Reed, pilot, volunteer, teacher of dreams, flew into it daily with Maya beside him. The confession now a quiet legacy. The campus lights winked off one by one. Jamal's laughter the last to fade. They walked hand in hand, the key on the red ribbon warm in her pocket, the real journey no longer a search but a home. The baobab's shadow stretched long across the park's gravel path, the red airplane kite a fading speck in the Haitian twilight. Alexander and Maya walked hand in hand, Jamal's laughter echoing behind them as he chased fireflies with the warehouse children. The key on the red ribbon swayed from Maya's pocket, the gold band warm against Alexander's chest. The campus lights twinkled on one by one, the clinic's turquoise walls glowing, the school's blackboard maps illuminated through open windows. The logbook rested in Alexander's duffel, the last entry still fresh. Asterisk love real. No pretense, no fortune. Just us. Asterisk he closed the duffel, the zipper soft in the quiet, the crochet angels tucked safely inside. A year unfolded like a well-flown approach, steady and true. The Carter Steel Foundation for Hope grew roots deep into the earth of need. New clinics in the Delta, classrooms in the Andes, airstrips carved from red dirt in sub-Saharan villages. Maya led the community health programs from the Miami hub, her ponytail tighter now. Her voice calm as she trained nurses in Port-au-Prince, Nairobi, La Paz. She flew the mobile units herself when pilots were short, the red airplane logo bright on the RV's side, Jamal's drawings taped to the dash. Dolores's watercolors became the foundation's signature. Each piece sold funding a child's surgery, a teacher's salary, a family's hope. Alexander lived quietly, no longer a billionaire but deeply fulfilled. He flew the Cessna on Mercy rotations, slept in mission bunks or the warehouse loft, ate rice and beans with locals who called him Hermano Alex. The gold band stayed on its chain, the logbook heavy with new entries. Flight hours, patient names, crayon sons and stick figure pilots. He taught in the warehouse mornings, geometry with balsa planes, reading with popsicle stories, the children's laughter his richest currency. No headlines, no cameras, just the hum of engines at dawn and the quiet thanks of parents who could finally sleep. The grand opening of the new children's wing dawned golden over the Miami campus, the turquoise building expanded with the foundation's wings. Oncology, pediatrics, a playground painted with red airplanes. Donors gathered under a tent, volunteers in Steel Wings t-shirts, children waving handmade flags. Maya stood at the podium, her sundress the color of clinic walls, the red ribbon bracelet glinting on her wrist. "This wing is for the kids who fly hope," she said, voice steady. "For Jamal who beat the odds. For every child who needs a second chance." Alexander watched from the back, the gold band hidden beneath a simple button-down, the duffel at his feet. No press, no podium for him. He had swept the playground at dawn, the broom's bristles whispering across fresh concrete, glitter from the flags gathering in neat piles. Jamal tugged his hand, the boy now 7, his grin wide as he pointed to the mural. The warehouse, the clinic, stick figure Alex and Maya linked by a red ribbon airplane. Dolores's watercolor the centerpiece. The ribbon cutting ended with applause, safety scissors in Jamal's small hands, the crowd dispersing to tours and mango slices. Alexander slipped away to the playground's edge, the new swing set creaking gently, the red airplane logo stenciled on the slides. Maya found him there, her sundress bright in the sun, the red ribbon bracelet warm against her skin. "You missed the speech," she said, voice soft. "You said it better," he replied, kneeling to tie a child's shoelace, the girl with braids from Haiti now visiting with her family. The crowd thinned, the donors departing in polished cars, the volunteers cleaning up. Alexander stood, the gold band warm against his chest. He reached into his pocket, pulled a small wooden box carved from balsa, the red ribbon tied around it. No cameras, no disguises, no noise. Just the playground's quiet hum, the children's laughter distant, the golden sky wide above. He knelt on one knee, the concrete warm from the sun, the box open in his palm. Inside, a ring woven from clinic ribbon and gold thread. The crochet angels wing a tiny charm. "Maya Carter," he said, voice low but steady. "I once searched for love in money, truth in masks, peace in power. You taught me kindness is the only currency that multiplies. Will you fly the rest with me? No pretense. Just us." Maya's eyes shimmered, tears tracking down her cheeks, the red ribbon bracelet trembling. She nodded through the tears, the word a whisper. "Yes." He slipped the ring on her finger, the ribbon soft, the gold thread catching the light. They stood, hands linked, the playground empty now, the children inside for naps. Jamal ran over, kite in hand, his grin wide. "Mom! Pilot Alex!" He hugged their legs, the pirate voice requested. Dolores wheeled up, her watercolor the final touch, her smile wide. "About time," she said, eyes bright. The foundation's volunteers gathered, applause soft, no flashes, just the hum of family. Evening cooled the campus, the new wing's lights twinkling on, the red airplane logo glowing. Alexander and Maya walked the airstrip's edge, Jamal between them, the Cessna waiting for a dawn flight to Belize. The logbook gained a final entry under the hangar's sodium light. Asterisk love promised. One ring, one yes, one harmony. Cost. Nothing left to give. Reward. Everything. Asterisk he closed it, the click soft in the quiet. The final shot. The Cessna takes off into a golden sky, engines roaring gentle, the red airplane logo bright on the tail. The camera pulls back, the reflection of the sunrise in their eyes. Alexander and Maya on the ramp, hands linked, Jamal waving the kite. Narration, Alexander's voice, quiet but sure. "I once searched for love in money, truth in masks, and peace in power. I found all three, in kindness." Fade out. The foundation thrived, clinics and classrooms blooming worldwide. Maya's health program saving lives. Alexander's flights carrying hope. They married under the baobab in Haiti. Jamal the ring bearer. Dolores's watercolor the invitation. The warehouse became their home base. The loft expanded with a bunk for Jamal, the hot plate simmering rice and beans. The red ribbon ring and the gold band rested side by side, the crochet angels swaying in every cockpit. The sky stretched endless, wide and welcoming. Alexander Steele, Alex Reed, pilot, volunteer, teacher of dreams, flew into it daily with Maya beside him, the harmony now a quiet legacy. The campus lights winked off one by one, Jamal's laughter the last to fade. They walked hand in hand, the key on the red ribbon warm in her pocket, the real journey no longer a search but a home.